Rejection. When you hear this word, what is something that comes to mind? Is it that first date you asked someone on? Is it that job promotion? Or is it just merely trying to merge into bumper-to-bumper traffic? Many of us face rejection in various forms on a daily basis. How do you cope with rejection? How do you navigate through a season full of no's? Think about your dream. Just think. I want to open up that business. I want to be a top-tier athlete. Or I want to be a published author. And you do everything in your power, yet you're still rejected. Not once, not twice. In my case, 9 times. For me, my dream was to become a nurse. And as many of you know, nursing school is very competitive when it comes to acceptance. You have your entrance exams, you have your GPA, and for some schools, you even have an interview. I thought I had it in the bag, but not quite. After receiving my first rejection letter, many people tried to give words of encouragement, saying things like, a lot of people do not get in on their first try. But come the 4th time, now something is wrong and I do not want to hear any more pep talks. And to top it off, there was a semester that I did not even apply and I received, I'm sorry to inform you, you have not been accepted into the nursing program. Talk about rejection. I vividly remember telling my mother that I was completely done, that obviously being a nurse was not for me. She reminded me, as she looked at me dead in my face, that this is the only thing I said I've ever wanted to be since I was 5 years old. And I kept those words with me. I had to learn to navigate and cope through my season of not right now. With a set of tools, I was able to push through and overcome a time that at one point I felt powerless. Today, I will be using rejection as an acronym, describing my personal roadmap to find my power in rejection. R, reevaluate. E, emotion. J, journey. E, energy. C, character. T, time. I, inspiration. O, opportunities. And N, never give up. When reevaluating, one goes back and looks over a few things. Where did I mess up? What could I have done differently? For me, it was my entrance exam. Each school prefers a certain score, and unfortunately, test taking was not my strongest area. And I'm going to be honest, I'm still not a good test taker. I decided that during my reevaluation process that I have to be honest with myself about preparing for the test. I ordered books to prepare and at one point even hired a tutor to help me with test taking skills. So what is something you need to reevaluate? Let's take cooking in the kitchen, for example. You have a recipe, you have all the right ingredients, you even put your heart and soul into cooking this meal. You sit down, you're prepared to eat it, and it's gross. You don't stop cooking. You just reevaluate what you could have done differently. Simple as that. Now let's talk about emotions. The emotions I felt and experienced through constant rejection took a toll on me in many ways. At times, I felt that I was not good enough and that my dreams would not become a reality. This affected my mental health in ways such as anxiety and at times depression. Think of one of the biggest rejections you experienced. Did it affect your mental health? How did you show up in the world after hearing that no? Rejection plays a huge role on your emotions, but how do you respond? How will you show up to the world will determine you overcoming this phase of your life. I suggest listening to Guy Winch's TED Talk as he unfolds the thought process behind emotional first aid. Although everyone's journey is different, like many, my journey had detours and valleys, yet my goal still remained. When I tell people that I was rejected from nursing school 9 times, they laugh and they look at me as if it's abnormal for a person to try that many times. Although you may have a support system, the journey sometimes feels lonely and unpredictable. Your journey may not be nursing school, but during your life, you will experience a no, and that will either motivate you or it will hold you hostage. Through the journey of being rejected, you are able to find out who you are at your core. Will you sink or will you swim? I'm not a great swimmer, but during my time of rejection, I took on the Michael Phelps mentality and decided to continue to swim. Which one will you choose? Energy. Many of you remember hearing this in science. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, but can only be transformed from one to another. Having positive energy will create positive outcomes. Self-talk or self-affirmation allows your brain to transform those thoughts into reality. The energy you receive from community around you is vital to your success. Yes, constantly not achieving your goal or dreams is draining, but I challenge you to learn to tap into the untapped energy that is within you, which brings me to character. For a person to have character, they must know who they are at their core. As I reflected back on those many times of being rejected, it created a sense of humility that I would not possess if I had not experienced a delay in nursing acceptance. The ability to handle rejection over and over again, some say is not in our human nature, while others say it builds character, consistency, and clarity that you use throughout your whole life. I think of boxers in the ring taking countless hits, yet standing, still, continuing to fight. Are you taking hits today? What are you fighting through? Who are you at your core? A fighter, or will you throw in the towel? Many have heard we must use our time wisely, and this is very true through the road of rejection. Rejection allows you to pause, which is good for a certain amount of time. It allows you to reevaluate, yet too long of a pause is not good. How are you using your time wisely? I decided to use my time by maximizing my financial aid and classroom time. I decided to change my major to health and human performance while still taking courses that will help me get into nursing school. To validate my dream, I also became a certified nursing assistant, which gave me the on-the-job experience I needed to better prepare for nursing school. That is how I use my time. What are you doing during your time of waiting? Are you taking additional courses to prepare yourself? Are you going to seminars? Are you practicing your craft while no one is watching? Inspiration. At the start of rejection, being optimistic seems to be the right thing to do. But how many of us know that doesn't last long? My biggest inspiration came from my late grandmother, Jackie Louise. Although she was not in the healthcare field, she knew a thing or two about adversity and overcoming it with poise. The constant reminder inspired me to strive for my dreams and understand that if and when obstacles come, to just push them out of my way. Who or what inspires you? Could it be your family? Could it be your children? Do you have a mentor that can help you stay on the right track to help you achieve your goals? Opportunities. With new opportunities comes a new mindset. Rejection gives us the opportunity to rediscover what we really want out of life. After evaluating your journey, you may learn that you enjoy other things and that you have tons of other talents. For example, I would like to use the Miami Heat coach, Erik Spoelstra, who started with the organization as a video coordinator, later to become the head coach, leading the Miami Heat to the 2 NBA championships and as well as the 2020 NBA Finals. The route that he took was unfamiliar by most, but he used each opportunity to grow and flourish. Never give up. I would like to use this as your dream. And this is the path that other people are taking. Straight, nothing in their way, no curves, no valleys, straight. And they get there. And then you have you. You have to take some rights, some lefts. You may even have some valleys, some dips, some curves, and some mountains. Yet you never take your eye off of your dream or goal. You're persistent, and you never give up on what's in front of you. I challenge you all today to not allow no to determine who you are or your destiny. Yes, at times you may compare yourself to those around you. Yes, they got there before you. And yes, you may feel behind. But what matters the most is that you achieve your goal and that you do not allow that to define your destiny. And that no is unacceptable. My favorite number is 10. And I want you to guess why. Have you guessed yet? You see, after the 9th rejection, I asked myself, when will I win? I handed it over and prayed that thy will be done. And on the 10th time, I was accepted into Middle Tennessee State University's nursing program. Rejection stings, and it truly does hurt, but it is not made to break you. It is made to mold you and create a stronger foundation than before. Again, I challenge you to use these tools as a personal roadmap to find your power in rejection. Thank you.